Thank you for coming to the technical run today. This is how the technical run is going to flow. So first of all, we're going to have a TD briefing, and it will be conducting in this order of introduction, communication channels, debate platforms, tournaments schedule, and fifth rules, and then lastly another rule for Zoom and KakaoTalk Open Chat. And after that onwards, we're going to move on to Zoom simulation of how we need to actually settle these devices. How are we going to actually use these devices, these two devices that we're going to use in the tournament. And then next, we're going to have a briefing done by the tab directors. And then from 3 o'clock to 3:50, we're going to have the CAP briefing. And then in the end, I'm going to deliver some announcements. Okay. So to start off, this is the introduction slide. So here you see that there are these communication channels. As we have this online tournament, it's the first online tournament that we're going to use. We needed a lot of channels, and the most important channel that you need to remember is this Google website, and then the second one is the KakaoTalk Open Chat. This is where there will be roll calls and announcements. And then if you need to have to send something through emails, this is the online email address, and then we also have phone numbers for you to actually dial directly to the offices. And then we have these debate platforms. So first of all, we're going to use the Zoom platform, and we're going to have the Zoom main halls. So we have two separate main halls, the General League main hall and the EFL League main hall. And we also have Zoom debate rooms. So there will be new room every round. And per round, there will be one debate room per adjudicator and government team and opposition. Another platform that we're going to use is the TabbyCat. So in the TabbyCat, you'll be able to see your matchups. So it's basically the draw. And in the matchups, you'll have links to the Zoom debate rooms. And then you will submit the judge feedback. Now you'll wonder where I can access this PDF. This is where you can access. So if you click the website here, I'm directing you to the website. So this is the website that you're going to see. I've uploaded the PDF file over here, okay? So the technical run PDF file is up here, so you can access this file right now. And here you see a lot of files, important files that we need to use. The tournament annex file that was uploaded, and the tournament annex in Korean, and the tournament rulebook. This is the same rulebook that we always had for 10 years, for 6 years in our elementary school debate. And then we have the technical guide that was provided to you a couple of days ago through email in both English and Korean. So you'll find all this information in this website. And then you have the Zoom instructions written here, and there are the tournament announcements as well. So we are having this technical run. And if you want to have access to the list of teams, you need to download the file here. Okay. So back to this slide. Now that you know where to access these files, I'm going to move on to, first of all, explaining some of the communication channels. So as I've already told you, okay, wait, I will go back. Okay, so this is the Google website. You'll have access to these important links. So the Zoom general link will also be uploaded here. And the Zoom EFL League will be also uploaded here. There is also an inquiries and complaint form that you can fill out. It's over here. And the important files. So one thing to note is that there will be an announcement banner. As we do not have a parent waiting room, and I know that there are parents and guardians who are with us in the technical run. If you wonder what the tournament is currently running, the tournament progress, you need to just check this announcement banner. So this announcement banner will be frequently updated to inform parents and guardians of the tournament progress. So I will upload this current round 1 complete, round 2 complete. So you'll check, and then you'll know that, oh, by the time these kids are going to be debating, oh, by the time this round will be over. So you'll have access to this in the announcement banner. And these are the contact information, so phones and one-to-one chat directly to myself through Open KakaoTalk and email. And we also have this inquiries and complaint form. If you were in an offline tournament, you'll just come to the organizing committee to fill out a paper complaint form. So we prepare this tournament inquiries and complaint form via Google Forms. So this is where you can actually fill these out. So if I move to the website again, so in this website, you see that there is the inquiries and complaint form. So if you click this inquiries and complaint form, you'll have access to this file. So you write your email address, you select the leagues, the team names, the names of the debaters. And for instance, if I write the email address, and if I write the email address, just to check, yes. So it's just to check how it works. So if you have inquiries about the tournament, you click this one. If you have any complaints regarding the opposing team, you have complaints about the judge. So let's say I have complaints about the opposing team. So you'll be directed to the next slide saying that, oh, I have complaints about debater judging. There you need to write the individuals and teams involved in the incidents. So this could be a debater. Okay. So this could be a debater, a judge, team, organizer, or observer, although we do not have observers. So this is where you write and then the incident. Okay. So this is the form that you're going to use for this tournament. I guess we all understand till this part. Now we're going to move on to, the link is also here. We'll move on to the next slide. So as I've already notified you earlier, we have this KakaoTalk open chat. So as we've already practiced once, we're going to do roll calls in this KakaoTalk open chat. So there could be present or absent, but as we have already done today, there will be actually all present and some missing. So if you think that, oh, I think 2 people are still in the bathroom, then you'll click some missing. So this is actually has to be corrected to some missing. And if you think that, oh, actually 4 team members are with me right now, as a team representative, I'll say that, oh, everyone is present, and you click this one. All right. So you are going to vote all present if all 4 members are here. If the roll call is from 15:30, come back to the place that you're supposed to be debating until 15:30. If all 4 members are present, please press the present button until 3 minutes. So we're going to give you 3 minutes to click this roll call, and then until 15:33, the roll call is going to end. So this is how we can actually check that everyone is present for the next round. All right, next we're going to move on to Zoom platform. I know that Zoom is not as familiar to many of you, but I think that we need to actually practice using Zoom. So this is how Zoom looks and how we're actually using Zoom right now. So the basic functions that's so fundamental is this mute button and unmuting button. It's very important. And in this technical run, all the participants who are watching everyone is on mute right now. So this is when we say Zoom mute or unmute. We're going to also say things like computer sound off. So this is when we need to actually turn one of the computer sounds off to prevent from howling or creating unnecessary sounds during the round. So if the judge asks you, oh, please turn off the computer sound, it will be moving to this cursor on the sound button, and you're going to turn it off. So this is Zoom that we're going to use. So as we all know, we've notified you that there are some formats that we need to use. The Zoom account names need to be in this order. So if you're general league, you need to write the bracket G and then team name and then 1 if the camera number is number 1. and the team number camera number 2. And same goes for the EFL League. The first camera needs to capture everyone. So currently I see that some teams have already practiced that and how many people actually have the teams, 4 teams together, and I see that 4 people are showing in the camera. Yes, that is how it's supposed to be done in an actual tournament. So the cameras that you're going to use now, that you're using right now with 4 people showing, will be the camera number 1. For that camera number 1, you need to have the microphone on mute, okay? The computer sound off. So as I already told you, computer sound means turning off the sound button. This is important, so you need to remember that the first camera that captures 4 people has to have the microphone on mute, computer sound off, so everything off. Then the second one is like me, myself showing, right? This is the podium camera. The microphone is on mute, so if I speak, the sound goes to the Zoom. And the computer sound is also on. So that is the condition that you need to keep for the second camera. That's the podium camera. So if you have computer sound on for both, if you're the speaker that you're delivering the speech, then the sound from this sound is going to actually come here as well. So please make sure that the first camera's microphone is on mute and computer sound is on off.
Okay, so now I'm going to tell you how to access the Find Your Room menu. So after writing information about the next round, each team has to go to the Google website Find Your Room menu. So this is the Google website. Here there is a menu called Find Your Room. If you click this link, you will be directed to this page where there is the spreadsheet. You can also find the link here. So if you go over here and scroll down, you'll find links to Zoom, this way to Zoom debate room. So if you click this, you will be directed to the spreadsheet. Okay? So in the spreadsheet, what you need to do is to click the Zoom link. First of all, you need to check if that is the room number that you wrote. So when the CAP shows the draw for the round, you need to write the room number down. YTN-02, adjudicator Leo. If these 2 things match, then the next thing you need to do is to click this link. And there is this hyperlink, so you need to press this. And then it will lead to this page. It'll say want to open the Zoom meetings. So you will press this button, okay? And the Zoom meeting room will be launched. So you need to remember that you need to check the room number, the adjudicator's name, and then clicking the Zoom link. On this menu, you will see this icon. You can click this to access this spreadsheet. So it's the same spreadsheet, but you can also use this page. You need to copy and then paste it here, and you will be directed to the same page. So this is how you're going to find your rooms for the debates. When it directs you to opening the Zoom meeting room, you need to click this. In the Zoom meeting room, the individual Zoom debate rooms, there will be preparation of the debate. In the individual Zoom debate rooms, the adjudicator is going to share the motion if all teams are present. So after the adjudicator shows the motion, teams are going to start prepping. After the preparation time, you will have the debate. Next, if the debate has ended, the adjudicator will take some time to evaluate the debate. The adjudicator will take some time to evaluate for around 10 or 15 minutes. By that time, the teams need to have their microphones on mute and wait. After receiving the feedback, teams need to go to the Zoom main hall. If you're an EFL league, then you go to the Zoom main hall for EFL league. If it's a general league, then you go to general league Zoom main hall. After that onwards, you will use this software called the TabbyCat to submit one feedback form. So this is the TabbyCat. You will receive this private URL before the tournament. So this is how the private URL looks like. So this is a private URL for a swing team, and you'll see this icon called Submit Feedback. So if you click this one, you will see the target, the overall score, 1 is worst and 10 is best. Did you agree with the decision? It says yes or no, and comments. So if it was around 1, it will have the adjudicator name here. And if you think that the feedback was very good, then you're going to type the number 10. If you think the decision was right, then you correct this one. If you have any comments, you can write them here. So after that, you need to submit by clicking this Save Feedback. And then it'll say your feedback has been recorded. So this is how you can submit the judge feedback after your team received feedback from the judges after each round. So this will take place every round. So after round 1, you'll fill out the feedback. After round 2, you round the feedback for the judge, and then after round 3, you'll do the same. So you click the name of the adjudicator, you type the score, yes or no, and then click. So this is a private URL that will be only accessible by your team. So each team will have different URLs. So you need to remember to record the website link for the judge feedback. So if you receive the emails before the tournament, make sure that it is always accessible.
So this is a tournament schedule that was notified earlier. It's also on our website. So just to recap what we just talked about, the Zoom league rooms mean that there will be Zoom main halls, the General League main hall, and the EFL League main hall, right? And the debate is going to happen in the Zoom debate rooms. After that onwards, you come to the main hall to show that, oh, you finished the debate and you're in the main hall. And in lunchtime, there is no place because you can eat your lunch anywhere you want. But you need to be back on the roll call time. So this may be changed during the tournament, but if you know that the roll call may be starting at 12:40, you need to come back before that. The roll call times and all the timings are going to be uploaded in the KakaoTalk open group chat, so you need to always check so that you are on time. So after roll call, you do the prepping, debating in the same way, and the roll calls are happening in KakaoTalk open chat. And lastly, there is a break time, Zoom main hall, but actually you can just move out of the camera angle and just take some rest elsewhere because all 3 rounds have ended. And then we have the break announcements. And see, it's written Zoom main. It was Zoom league rooms, debate rooms, Zoom league rooms, and now we have Zoom main. So to reduce confusion, we're just going to use the General League main hall room as the Zoom main. So EFL League teams are going to go to the website, Google website again, and then they're going to press this link to access the Zoom main hall where there will be break announcements. All right. And it goes the same way for the Sunday as well, for the elimination round, the break rounds. So General League main hall and EFL League main halls are going to be there. And in the end, the closing ceremony is going to happen in the General League main hall, the student main hall. All right. Now about the preparation time. This was already uploaded on our website in the tournament information packet. So each team must prepare 20 blank white sheets per round. We were supposed to give you colored sheets that's written YTN, but as we cannot do it in this tournament, we ask you to prepare these papers in advance, and it should be empty. Nothing should be written on the papers, and the adjudicator is going to ask each team to show their papers, to show like this, so that we know that it is an empty sheet of paper. So when the preparation time begins, we know that it's an online tournament, but we should refrain ourselves from using electrical devices like phones and tablets. It should be just capturing us. You're not supposed to use it. You're not supposed to access the Kakao Talk. You're not supposed to access Google. You're not supposed to be chatting with your coaches. You're not supposed to do that because it's a tournament, and we ask you that you follow these rules as a debater. So please remember that you should not use electrical devices from preparation time until the end of the debate round, okay? Debaters can ask for clarification regarding the motion during the first 10 minutes of the preparation time. And as already told you, use of internet is strictly prohibited. And the third party should not be visible in the camera angle. So in your camera angles, I mostly see the team members, but in the real tournament, I should not be able to see anyone else besides the team members. So I should not be able to see your parents or your guardian or coaches when you're having preparation and debate. So you should not engage in verbal communication plus online communication with anyone besides your team members. All right, this is a very, very important rule. So in the preparation time, you need to show yourself prepping. So we're going to do a demonstration, and we're going to ask you to actually have the cameras facing you, the face, and also the desk with your paper. We're going to show you, but that's important because we need to see that you're actually prepping on paper with pen and pencil. Next, rules during debates. So teams should refrain from touching devices unless the debater needs to unmute or mute, okay? So debaters are only allowed to use single function digital stopwatches. They should not record or screen capture any participants or the round itself. So this is just a technical run that we are actually recording to upload on website. It's possible for the organizing committee to do so, but if the individuals recorded and tried to use it as an evidence or to ask for inquiries, that's not allowed because it's strictly prohibited that you're not allowed to capture, screen capture, or record the debate rounds. Please make sure that you do not have any personal recordings, and also you should not engage in verbal communication beside the team members, and please do not unmute your microphones for any verbal reactions. I know that you want to say something like here, or clapping, or hitting the desk, but please mute them, okay? Thank you. So next, in between rounds. So in between rounds, after the round has ended, it's break time. You can move out of the camera angle, take rest, and go to restrooms, but make sure that you come back for roll calls, okay? And make sure that you go to restrooms during the break time because you cannot go to restrooms when the preparation time starts. I know 1 hour and 2 hours are difficult for you, but please remember that there's always a chance that we cannot really trust where you're going. We cannot really see. So please make sure that you go to toilets in the break times, okay? So when the round is ended, you exit your debate room, right? You exit your Zoom debate room, you return to Zoom main hall. That's what we're gonna do. And after round 3 for prelims, and after round 4 for break rounds, all rounds have ended, right? So when the round 3 has ended, it's going to be break time for 40 minutes. You do not have to stay in one camera angle, and only one account has to remain in the Zoom main hall. Okay, so debaters do not need to stay in one place. And there are some rules. I see that people are writing chats currently, and someone just asked what is a tabby cat. And about this, we're going to deliver you the information in the tab briefing, okay? So in Zoom main halls, you can send chats, but please make sure that you try to ask a question on a private chat, okay? So you can raise your hand or send a private chat to the host to ask a question. And mute your cameras. Now everyone is muting well, right? So muting your cameras is important unless the host lets you to unmute. And please refrain from using private chats to other participants or organizers for unnecessary issues. Please do not do so, but if you have a question, please do ask questions through private chattings. And in Zoom debate rooms, even if you know that in the Zoom debate room, there will be the government team and opposing team, and you yourself and there will be adjudicators, you should not unmute your microphones unless the adjudicator says that you can, okay? So you need to remember that everything must be on mute. That's the ground rule. So mute your microphones during preparation time, and do not unmute your microphones to make POI or to say here. You need to actually show that I'm going to ask a POI in a non-verbal action and ask a question to the adjudicator through private chat. And lastly, although it's online, please respect the debaters, adjudicators, and organizers while talking or chatting. We really respect all the debaters, and we also want the debaters to respect all of us, the other teams, and the adjudicators. Thank you for that. And also in a KakaoTalk open chat. I know it's online, but still, we're all humans, right? So please respect the other people while talking or chatting. That rule applies same for KakaoTalk open chat. So some teams have already entered, but we need all teams there. So generally all teams, 37 teams, and 20 teams in the EFL teams, right? So only the team leader has to enter the room. Please enter the room by August 14, 6 p.m. And please do not share the link to the KakaoTalk open chat with a third party. So the profile name setting is the same. And you may ask questions in the open chat. But if you want to ask a private question or a private one-to-one message to me, the tournament director, there is this link. And you can also just click my icon here, TD Ju-hyung Lee, and then it says, oh, one-to-one open chat. So if you click this, you can ask questions directly to me. So whether it's a team, whether it's a guardian, you can just use this one-to-one open chat if you need to ask a question. So as I already told you, there is this one-to-one chat, there is this email, there is phone. But before you make any calls though, as we have already told you, there is this website. It's a very friendly website that has all the information, right? So we have the announcements here, we have the announcement banner always there. We also have important guides like the tournament information packet, technical guide, technical run PDF. So most of the information is already here. So please do make sure that you read these first. And then if you still need to ask a question, you can use these channels to communicate with the organizing team. Okay, so this will be the end of my time. And before I end the TD briefing, I would like to note that I would like to thank some teams that are already in these public areas and wearing masks, right? We need to wear these masks. So please make sure that you have the masks with you during the tournament, unless it's your time to deliver your speeches. It's because we're asking 4 people to gather together, and it is up to the team's responsibility to take care of these precautions of this quarantine for this COVID-19. Although it will be very difficult, we please ask you to wear your masks as you will be in a public space, whether it's a study cafe or whether it's home. Please make sure that you have the microphones, you have the masks, and also like hand sanitizers with you to make sure that you don't get sick during the tournament. So that will be it for my briefing. Okay. Okay, and I just have a question regarding this. I'm sorry, but about the POI, and the second question is about KakaoTalk chat. Okay. Wait. Okay. When you want to make a POI, you cannot just say POI because you cannot, they cannot hear you. So what you say is you wave your hand to make a POI. You raise your hand, or if you want to make a POI, you can send a private chat to the adjudicator. So in the technical guide, it's already written about how you can make POIs. So during POIs, if you want to make POIs, you should not unmute the microphone. You should show it with non-verbal actions to show that you're making a POI. Okay? And about the KakaoTalk group chat, someone asked about how can we access KakaoTalk group chat when we're not allowed. Okay? So we have KakaoTalk open chat rooms for delivering information and announcements, right? However, when you start prepping, you do not have to see the KakaoTalk open chat, okay? Because it's prepping time, and other information is going to be delivered directly to the adjudicator for the adjudicator to notify all the teams. So you will not need the KakaoTalk open chat. So this chat is primarily used for roll calls, and after rounds and before rounds, you're going to use this chat, okay? So please make sure that try not to just look at KakaoTalk or access your smartphones during your preparation time and debate, because that is a rule that we are trying to keep to make sure that teams are not cheating, okay? So can you touch the computer keyboard to raise a POI? That's the only exception that you can do. So what you do is you move yourself to the podium camera and then you click unmute or mute. That's the only thing you can do. But you cannot have the keyboards or to type something or to write a message, because that would be not it. That would be not possible. If it's not like a private chat to the adjudicator, all you need to do is to just mute or unmute. So that will be the only time that you will be having the mute and unmute. Okay. All right. So I also have another question. We ask you to stay in the camera at all times during preparation time and debate time. I think everyone knows about this, right? If you want to ask bathroom breaks, if it's a very urgent one, then even if there is an urgent one, we are not going to let you to go to bathroom breaks. But in case there is a very big issue or a health issue that you need to go, as we have 2 cameras, one team member is going to take the camera and follow you to the place that you're going to have. Whether you're going to meet your guardian, or whether you need to meet your parent, whether you need to meet your coach, or whether you need to go to the toilet, someone has to be with you to make sure that you're not cheating, or you're not getting your materials, or you're not like communicating with someone else, okay? So that'll be it for answering the questions. I will be answering more questions after on and then delivering, okay? So that would be for my TD briefing. The TD briefing material is already uploaded in the website. So now we're going to show you how the Zoom cameras are supposed to be. So it will be a brief simulation, and we will be back in 1 minute. So we have 4 people in one table, and they have A4 sheets of paper, right? And there is that camera. So what is that camera showing, right? So that camera is showing Okay, so currently the camera is showing 4 people, right? 4 people are here. Their papers are showing, right? You all see that. Now, if teens can also practice that. You try to change the camera angle so that the papers, any papers are shown, right? Can we all do that? Right? And there's nothing on the A4 sheet, right? Right? It should be clean, nothing should be there. Okay, so this would be the end of the demonstration. And when I entered the room, you would have heard like howlings, right? That's because multiple computer sounds were on. That's why we should not do that. One camera should never have the computer sound on and the microphone on mute, right? So there should be one device that's turning on everything, and one device turning off everything. All right? Okay, did everyone see how we did? Right? So make sure that the papers are showing, that the entire desk is showing, and that 4 people are showing. So now we're going to have the briefings delivered by the tab team.
This is what it looks like if you click on the link I gave you, okay? So if you receive the private URL tomorrow, we'll be resending you the link. In this part, where it says speaker 1 swing, there'll be your name and your team name. And it also says here it's personalized to you or your team in this case. So don't give this link to anyone else. After a round is done, so here it's a fake matchup. We'll be redoing the matchup for the real tournament. We just did this for the technical run. We'll be redrawing. So queens, you don't need to worry about anything. So after a round, here there's submit feedback, right? Click on this, and then there'll be a drop box. There'll be a target. So if you click on this, because we only created the matchups for round 1 as of now, you'll only see Chuan, who you'll meet in a short time. So, but after like round 2, 3, 4, there'll be 4 different names for 4 different rounds. So click on the person you want to give feedback to, and the score range is 1 to 10, and no decimal points. So it's like either 1, 2, 3, 4. Just give the score you want to give the judge, whether you agreed with their decision. So here, note that just don't give 10 to people who gave you the win. So even if you agree with their decision, you might still give a not 10, a lower score that you think that they deserve. Even if they made you lose, if you think that the person was a good judge, you can still give them 10s, okay? And if you want to write additional comments, you can write it. Please be nice. Judges are also people. Don't swear here because they made you lose. So this is what your private URL would look like. Yeah, and as I've told you, we'll because we think people might have confusion moving from room to room, and then it will cause time differences between teams. we thought it would be best if the judges that will judge you for a round, they will announce the motion once both teams are in the room together. Okay, 1 to 10, give them a score that's independent of your result, whether you've won or lost. Give them a good score that they deserve, not a good score as in terms of 10. Give them a score that they actually deserve. Tell us if you agree with their decision and write comments down below. Okay, and since you have 4 people on your team, you might be tempted to give a lot of 4 different feedbacks to a judge. Don't, just one feedback per team. That's why we're only sending you one URL. So talk with your team members, discuss how the judge was, but only submit one feedback per round.
We are your CAT for this elementary debate division. My name is Jan.
I'm Jungyung Kim.
Hi, I'm Sean Park.
What we're going to do now is that we're just going to emphasize to you some of the online rules that we want you to observe for this tournament. Some of it has been mentioned by Junhyung already a while ago, but we just wanted to make sure that you understand this so that it won't cause any problems on your part or delays for the tournament as well, okay? And then after that, we will be inviting you to go through an individual Zoom link later that Sebum shared to you a while ago, so that you get to have a better understanding in terms of what will happen in the debate using Zoom link, okay? So let's go through first the important things that we need to remember in terms of online debate. Can we screen share the PPT? All right, first rule that we need to understand. So this is an online debate competition, right? But having said that, you are still not allowed to use any internet or communication devices during preparation as well as during the debate, okay? However, you may be able to use your laptop, your phones, if you are not debating or if it's not yet preparation time. Okay, so remember that all of these things are prohibited during prep time and debate proper. All right, although obviously you need to access the internet to check your matchups, to do your feedback, but these things will be done right after the debate anyway. Okay, so meaning during the debate, including preparation time, you are only going to be able to have your 2 or 3 devices, which you will be used as your camera and as your microphone for the debate. Okay. Also, we would like you to be able to self-time yourself using a single function digit stopwatch only. Okay. So you cannot use your phone also during the debate. Okay. Your judges would remind you anyway before they will be providing you the motion regarding all of these things. But for now, do remember that as much as possible, when you have your Zoom link for a certain debate, your phone must be away from your desk. Keep it on your bag, put it away, just make sure that it's not near you. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to understand. 1, you cannot use the internet or use any communication devices during the debate, including preparation time. Okay?
Can I clarify the single function in Korean? 그 스톱워치 같은 경우에 초시계라고 하는데 핸드폰에 내장되어 있는 초시계 기능을 사용하시면 안 되고 그 초시계 스톱워치 기능만 있는 스톱워치가 있습니다. 보통 문방구나 이런 데서 파는데 그런 초시계로서의 기능만 있는 초시계만 사용이 가능하십니다. 뭐 다른 기능, 뭐 메모라든지 뭐 계산기라든지 이런 기능이 있는 다른 초시계는 사용하실 수 없습니다. 그 매 라운드가 시작하기 전에 심판이 혹은 들어가 있는 심판이 해당 초시계를 직접 확인하고 사용할 수 있도록 해드리겠습니다. 그 시계 같은 경우에는 사용이 가능하십니다. 하지만 이것도 시계 기능나 초시계 기능만 있는 시계만 사용이 가능하지 뭐 스마트워치, 뭐 애플워치 이런 다른 기능들이 함께 있는 시계는 사용하실 수 없습니다.
Alright, next. I think this is you.
Okay. So moving on to the second part of our presentation, we'll be talking about recording and video. We would like to emphasize a rule that you should never, under any circumstances or under any time during the tournament, can you record or videotape or screenshot any of the participants or the debate itself. So we urge you that you refrain from using the record function in Zoom, although it will be disabled, and you also refrain from taking photos with your phone camera or using screen recording application or something. Please respect the other people and other participants and refrain from recording or screenshotting any part of the debate. Also, the top room of the last elimination round for both General and EFL League, which will happen on the second day of the tournament, will be recorded by YTN and will be shared on the website after the competition or the tournament is over. This recording will be done by YTN and us, and you will be able to access it after the competition. Okay, on raising points of information, we've received a lot of inquiries on this, whether what if the person speaking can't see my hand, but we decided that it would still be better rather than the speaker being interrupted by numerous shouting outs of points of information. So the method would be you'll have to wave your hand or show your palm or show your hand to the camera if you want to raise a point of information. The speaker will be looking at, will check their laptop camera from time to time to make sure if there's no POIs that are being raised at the moment. Please take note that verbal POIs, including shouting out points of information or standing up, anything, are not allowed. Please keep in mind that you can only raise points of information by showing your hand or your palm or waving at the camera. Also, this is something that is pretty clear and pretty straightforward. Debaters who are not delivering speeches, so everyone except for the person who is speaking at the moment, should always have their microphones on mute. So we encourage you to just have your microphones on mute all the time, except for the moment that you or your teammate is speaking. 한국말로 잠시만 간단하게 설명을 드리자면, 이제 POI를 제기하실 때 옛날에 했던 이제 오프라인 토너먼트에서 했던 것처럼 일어나면서 말로 point of information이라고 외치던가 아니면 다른 말을 하던가 하는 식으로 진행하지 않고 이번에는 카메라를 향해서 손을 흔들거나 아니면 손바닥을 보여주거나 이런 식으로 진행을 하도록 하겠습니다. 온라인 토너먼트일 경우 이렇게 오디오가 섞일 경우 이제 심판이 토론자가 말하는 말을 잘 못 알아듣는 경우가 굉장히 잦기 때문에 이런 방식을 채택하게 되었습니다. 또한 어떻게 보면 되게 당연한 말일 수도 있겠지만 현재 스피치를 하고 있지 않는 토론자는 언제나 마이크 음소거 기능을 사용해 주셔야 됩니다. I'll take some time to look at the questions.
We'll respond to the questions later.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, then we'll move on to the next part of our slides.
Sure.
Okay, so delivering a speech during a round, one camera should be used as the podium camera to capture the face and hands of the debater speaking. So our convener, Ju-young, have shown you the example of how the debate chamber or how you should set position your two devices in order to show your hands and your papers whatsoever. One camera, which is one device, should be used as a podium camera. So you will use that podium camera that you're gonna give a speech in front of. It should capture the face and the hands of the debater that's speaking. The other camera, which is a second device, should capture the remaining team members so that those team members are not using electronic devices or commuting with other people, etc., etc. So 두 가지 카메라를 저희가 의무로 기기로 방 안에 가지고 있기로 의무를 했잖아요. 한 카메라는 연단 카메라. 그래서 연단에서 말씀하시고 있는 연사 학생을 반드시 손과 얼굴이 모두 함께 보여야 하고, 다른 두 번째 기기는 이제 팀메이트 학생들이 부정행위를 하고 있는지 않도록 보고 있는 용도입니다. Second, debate reaction. All participants should not unmute their microphones for any verbal debate reactions that could potentially interrupt the speech to avoid any interruptions to the debater delivering the speech, i.e., hear, hear, shame, clapping, hitting the desk. So in offline tournaments, a lot of students do hear, hear, shame, clapping, hitting the desk to show their debate reactions to the speech. the debater is having. But since it's an online tournament, and when the opponent or your teammate does here or shame by after unmuting and say such words, the CAP decided that it could interrupt like the internet connection, or it could interrupt the speaker who is speaking right now. That's why we decided to make unmute the people who are not speaking, and also to avoid from showing any debate reactions.
How do we go back? All right, regarding your questions for POI, it's advisable for you to set up your Zoom podium camera on gallery. Okay, by that I mean you must be able to see all cameras in your laptop when you are speaking, because in that way you get to see whether someone is raising their hands or not. Okay, so make sure that you set up the Zoom link on gallery for you to be able to see all cameras present in the debate room, because on that day you'll only have the judge, so that's one camera, 2 or 3 cameras from your opponents, and 2 or 3 cameras from your team anyway. So you'll be able to see everyone, all right, while you're speaking. And it's best for you to make sure as a speaker to check the screen every now and then also to see if someone is raising a point of information. Remember, it's crucial for you to answer at least one point of information in the debate so that the debate becomes more engaging. Okay, so that's a responsibility of the speaker, that you must be able to at least accept one point of information during the debate. Nowadays, there's also even a trend that debaters could even request for point of information if they want to. Okay, just to make sure that they would show that they are willing to engage with their opponent during their speech. Okay, so either do 2 things. Okay, one, make sure that you are constantly checking also the screen of your laptop, your camera podium, to see if your opponents are actually raising points of information. And if they're raising points of information and you feel like you cannot take it yet, then you can always say, I'll take your point of information after I finish my rebuttals or after I finish my first argument. Okay, and your opponent will just wait. And then if you can simply say, now I'm open for points of information, and then the opponents can ask points of information to you. Okay. Second question. Yeah. Okay.
그 POI 관련해서는 그 줌에 보시면 갤러리 보기라는 기능이 있는데 이 기능을 활성화하셔야지 그 안에 있는 모든 참가자들의 화면이 보입니다. 그 point of information은 그 발언자에게 어떻게 보면 훨씬 더 중요한 것이기 때문에 발언자로서 항상 카메라를 컴퓨터를 확인하시면서 지금 들어오고 있는 point of information이 없는지 잘 확인해 주시기 바랍니다.
Okay, we have a second question here regarding if our team is not speaking and our opponent is speaking, should we turn off our microphones? The answer there is yes. Okay, the only microphone that must be turned on is the microphone of the person speaking. Okay, because otherwise, whatever noise your room is producing will be heard by everyone. So that would cause a lot of noise feedback and distraction either to the judge or to the person speaking at that specific time. Okay, so make sure that if you're not speaking, all your computer devices are actually turned off. Okay.
그리고 그 화면 공유 잠깐 꺼줄 수 있어? 잠깐만. 스톱워치 관련해서 질문을 해 주시는데 이렇게 생긴 스톱워치입니다. 이렇게 생긴 스톱워치 말씀드리는 거고, 이제 다른 기능이 있는 스톱워치는 사용을 자제해 주시길 부탁드립니다.
Okay. Any other questions regarding how debates should be conducted? Yes. When your points of information are accepted, then you can touch your computer to unmute your mic.
But make sure that the speaker has accepted your point of information before you unmute your microphone.
Okay. So if the point of information is not accepted, do not unmute it. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Please ask. If you have any questions, please ask now. It'll be the easiest and fastest way to get an answer. No, we do not have several rooms on the main Zoom room. We have one main room, one general room, and one EFL room.
Okay.
Can the stopwatch have timer and watch? Yes, the stopwatch can have the timer function and the watch function, incorporated together. The speaker does not need to stand up when he or she speaks, but make sure that your upper body, your face, and your hands are all visible. No, please do not use earphones. Please use the speaker function and the microphone function incorporated in your laptop.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any questions regarding the debate itself apart from stopwatches?